Spurs Bros? Welcome into episode 44 of the Spurs Bros podcast. De'Aaron Fox signs a maximum extension contract with the Spurs. He's going to be in San Antonio for the next 5 years. We're super excited about that. Spurs have also filled in the roster with some other two-way and training camp deals. We're going to touch on anything and everything going on in Spurs Nation right now. Hit that subscribe button. Comment below your favorite George Gervin story. And here comes episode 44.
Wait. Whose episode is this? Do we got anyone?
Yes. Don't say it. Don't say it.
What number episode is this? Let me think.
44.
44?
Don't
Should I know?
Yes, you should.
You should know.
44?
You should know.
Yeah.
It's retired.
KG?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. There it is.
Spurs Bros! Welcome to episode 44 of the Spurs Bros podcast. Spurs Bros, this is a big episode. In case you don't know, episode 44 and jersey number 44 belongs to none other than Iceman, George Gervin.
Gee.
The Iceman. That guy is a freaking legend. Obviously up in the Raptors for good reason. Reagan, tell the audience what you just told us. I didn't know he had it like that. I knew he was a great scorer, but I didn't know he had it like this.
I haven't looked at his stats in a long time, bro. But yeah, so 12 seasons, 11 full seasons with the Spurs. A couple of years of that was in the ABA. But over the course of his career, he averaged 26, 5, and 3 with over a steal per game. But there was a stretch, 6 straight seasons from 1977 to 1983, where he was in the top 10 of MVP voting. And then what really jumps out, dude, 1979-80 season, he averaged 33.1 points a game. And the year before that, he was at 29.6. 1981, he averaged 27.1. And then 82, 32.3 points. And he was efficient, bro. He was he was putting up 25 shots a game, 50% from the field, almost no three-pointers, scoring with the finger roll.
Dude,
Dude, he's one of those guys like in today's, Kobe, we'll say LeBron, like he would have been successful in any era of basketball. He had the size, he could finish at all levels.
Yep.
He would have been successful at any level. Didn't matter when he played. Man, dude, just one of the GOATs for sure.
Yeah. How come nobody that move, by the way, anymore? Like that patented finger roll, dude. Like he just made it was so silky, and he did it across, in the lane over big men and everything. Like you just see him just constantly. I don't know why does nobody do that?
It's so hard, dude. Have you ever been in the gym and you're just like, all right, let me try some Gervin finger rolls, and it's so tough to get that touch and get it all high up in the air like that.
Manu had a nice one when he wanted to use it. He had so many moves in his bag though, but when he wanted to, he used it, and it was nice
that's
too.
True. That's a good point. But still, this George Gervin is an absolute San Antonio GOAT. So shout out.
Yeah, bro. He's got the George Gervin Academy. I mean, we all played tournaments there.
Oh yeah.
All the time. But he's like a homer. He's always like pounding the table for San Antonio and speaking up and trying to put us on the map as like the first OG. One of the most iconic basketball posters ever. Iceman.
Yes.
He's sitting on that ice throne. Yeah, bro.
He's badass, man. I love that guy. All right. Well, more good news, Spurs Bros, is the Spurs have officially made it official that we've re-signed De'Aaron Fox to his 4-year max extension, which comes out to $229 million.
Every penny.
Yep, he got every penny. And this is not really like a brag, like I told you so, but we all did say this was gonna no contest. Of course, the Spurs are gonna do this, and sure enough, we did.
Yep, we were all in agreement on it last week. We even had some people pipe in the comments. Oh, we should do this. You should take a little pay. We all said it didn't make sense. You're not gonna over Rich Paul and Clutch. He owns half the league. Our head coach is in Clutch now. Would have made no sense. And he already took that pay cut from Sacramento, like we mentioned last week. He deserves all 229. Now it's like, you shouldn't even have to do this, but go prove your haters wrong. Just ball out this season.
Yep.
But we called it.
Yeah. He's gonna be motivated. Because I feel like the only reason why people were clamoring for make him take a discount, Eric Salinas, make him take $60 million less money. Shut up, bro.
Crazy.
But the reason why all that was coming through, honestly, is people forgot who De'Aaron Fox is. And that's with him. He put up 60 in November.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter being the broken pinky, as the season wore on, he got less and less effective. He was still averaging 19 or 20 and 5 or 6 assists and 4 or 5 rebounds. So he was still playing at like a pretty high level, but it wasn't the De'Aaron Fox that people have come to kind of realize and respect the last couple seasons. So like people have forgotten who he is. I'm sure he saw some of the noise coming from NBA in general and also home in San Antonio. He's going to come out with a lot to prove. And as the point guard of the next 5 years, basically, is what we just told him that he is. Locked up, no team option, no player option, just straight 5 years, 230 million. Let's get after it.
Even more so than just like Spurs Twitter. You saw like you said, right on ESPN, like KOC came out. There were a lot of people who you wouldn't have thought would have had kind of a voice in it, but they were saying, "Oh man, Spurs screwed up with this contract by the payment." So it's like
they said that.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are these guys saying? We again, us three were all in agreement. He fully deserved it, and it's like, dude, the Spurs never pay people. Like, I don't know. It's just what would have run me the wrong way, honestly, if we didn't pay him the full 229. Could have been all this backlash and other stuff. I'm glad we did it, and again, I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, I completely agree with both of y'all's takes. And I mean we talked about that last episode. So there's two, points of view here that you're saying. You're saying, I guess what you just said, KOC and people like that saying this is a bad contract because you've got Wemby coming up, you've got Stephon coming up and Jeremy Sohan, and you already have technically a bad contract with Devin Vassell. I mean, that's fans talking. The Spurs, fans talking. And then you've got also Dylan Harper if he ever comes into his own. All of that, like, how are you going to balance that with a huge contract like De'Aaron Fox? And so that's a legitimate question. But then you have the other side of it. I forget who it was on their own podcast talking about how they see taking advantage of Wemby right now in this golden era that we have him in. He's producing at a $60-70 million a year value, but we have him on this $12 million a year or whatever his contract is, 15, 16. I forget what it is.
I forget the number right now too,
but you're paying him this much, so basically you could pay De'Aaron Fox and Wemby the same as what you'd pay a true Shea SGA type player. You're getting them 2 for 1, and you're trying to build and grow at a faster rate, and then just figure it out as once time goes on. And I think that's probably the best way to think about it, in my opinion. And I don't know. I don't see any other way. Like I don't see why it is a bad contract, because unless De'Aaron Fox gets hurt and he all of a sudden becomes a prima donna, which I don't think he is, he should be easy to as a trade piece if we ever wanted to trade him, or somebody else on the team. If we really love De'Aaron Fox, like this is champagne problems, right? This is like good problems to have.
And again, I was saying, 27. Like in basketball, like his golden years should still be ahead of him the next 3-4 years. What we signed him to, it should be. He hopefully he's a 2-time All-Star in the next 4 years.
This is his ultra prime. Like the next 5 years that we have him under contract is his true prime. 27, 28 is that peak. And then 29, 30, 31, like those are still the years where you're super productive. Bodies should still be pretty durable, healthy. He hasn't missed a ton of time in his career aside from this pinky issue. But that's probably a freak. Your pinky gets caught on somebody's hand or whatever, and it gets bent back, whatever. But I mean, the thing that people are citing, the haters are citing the most is the Dylan Harper piece of it. And to me, it's, again, this gives you ultimate optionality in the NBA, which is what people talk about you want the most, is optionality both with your roster and with the salary cap.
Yep.
So you allow Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle to prove themselves to come into their own over the next 3 or 4 seasons. And when they become extension eligible, then you can make a decision about the future of De'Aaron Fox. Not today, but in 3 or 4 seasons from now, once he's gone through his prime, has a year or 2 left, Wemby's due, Castle's due, Harper's due, who knows what the team is going to look like? Who knows what those players are going to look like 3 or 4 years from now? But in the meantime, this gives a top 5 player in the NBA, Wemby, a top 30 guy as a running mate. And remember what everybody was saying when we signed De'Aaron Fox, the pick and roll game with those two is going to be elite. So we finally get to see it with a full training camp, both guys healthy, both guys able to kind of talk about it and draw that up all season long and make it perfect. So I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And after the signing on Twitter, kind of became on Spurs Twitter, became a trending thing for a few days. Is he a top 10 point guard or not? What do y'all think?
Ooh, Top
Yes.
10. There's a lot of really good ones.
Lot of really good ones, and people are like, oh, Tyler Hero's not a point guard, whoever. Do y'all think he's top 10?
I say
Yeah, I
so.
do.
Like
Yeah.
obviously,
Like it'd be 9 or 10, you
yeah, like
think?
8 or 9, 9 and 10. Yeah, but I
I
think
think like 8 probably, like at worst. I don't
well,
know, dude. You can make a
people
case for a lot of people.
I
people
would say you could say he's 7th or 8th, or he could very easily be like 14th, honestly. But I just saw it on Twitter. A lot of people were arguing about it.
I
But
mean,
I think top 10 personally.
yeah, I do. I absolutely do. That's a good question. Let's maybe go into that in more detail next time. But so on to that note though, all good news. We all love it. At least the Spurs bros love it. Now, I saw something on Twitter X that was really interesting to me, and this is just something to look out for. I want to just post this, mark this in time, and mark this in history because I think this is really important to note. There's a account on X called Stat Defender, and Stat Defender posted most points per possession on ISOs for the 2024-2025 NBA regular season. And this is with a minimum of 2 ISO possessions per game. De'Aaron Fox is tied with Kevin Durant for first place at 1.16 points per possession. That's really impressive. And this was a response to his own tweet about how Stephon Castle has the highest foul drawing frequency on ISOs for the 2024-2025 NBA regular season. This is a minimum of 100 total ISO possessions. So he was number 1 ahead of Paolo Banchero and ahead of James Harden. Our rookie Stephon Castle was. So that's really impressive, right? I want to mark this because that's important because this is 2 strengths that 2 of our starters have, but it's also going to be really interesting to watch this play out during the season to make sure that we don't get, like to balance the ball movement, to balance the team camaraderie, chemistry, and not forgetting our star franchise player, Wemby, and him getting his touches and making sure the offense flows through him, right? You've got these 2 guys, again, De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle, who have these strengths. In the ISO situation, Stephon Castle's great at drawing fouls, and De'Aaron Fox is just great at scoring in ISO possessions. But how do you balance that with also team ball, team play, moving the rock, and getting Wemby his touches, the touches that he needs throughout the game? So that's just going to be something interesting to watch for. I just want to point that out there. Hopefully, maybe we come back to it later in the season. But yeah,
I think a lot of this can happen in like transition, just before we even get set up, before defense gets set up. It's a super fast paced game in today's world. So modern game, they're running fast. So I think a lot of that can be in transition. And obviously once we get in half court ball, then yeah, we would like to still see plays run and stuff. And we said it earlier. We were talking, you just mentioned Wemby. Wemby still has to get like the most shots a game. We're doing something wrong if Wemby's getting 3rd, even 2nd shots a game compared to Fox or someone else. Wemby's got to get 20 to 25 shots a game, and then everyone else can fall into line after him.
Yep.
But like you said, we got to still find a way to get Wemby the ball and not have him fall into it and just being ISO. We need him to get good looks, easy looks. So it will be interesting to see how we kind of even it all out.
Yep.
Remember, Wemby doesn't play the most minutes ever. Like even last season before he went down, he was averaging 33 minutes a game. So let's say that he maintains about that pace. That's still 15 minutes when he's off the court. And when you have a guard rotation of Fox, Castle, and Harper, that gives you elite to very good guard play throughout the entire game. So there will be opportunities for Fox and for Castle to get in these ISO situations, whether it's like Stuart said in fast break, or whether it's, hey, let's get 5 or 6 passes going. We get the mismatch that we want, and then we clear out for Fox to just blow by people, get to the rim, stop on a dime, and take his little 15-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Or Stephon Castle bullying people and either dunking on them or getting fouled. So there's going to be opportunities for them to do that. I think there will be opportunities to do that within the scheme of the offense. Mitch Johnson's going to have a lot of fun. Like this is a good thing to be able to use and create and develop your schemes with. So I think they're going to be able to use these strengths. And then I think they're both good playmakers. Like Stephon Castle has more room to work on that. But De'Aaron Fox is a guy that averages 6-7 assists per game throughout his career. Even when he was hurt last year, his assist numbers went up because he wasn't scoring as well. So it's still going to create those awesome opportunities for Wemby at the rim, and they can't forget about him, like you said. But I think there's plenty of opportunity for these guys to utilize their strengths and kind of show that off, even with Wemby, putting up 20 shots a game.
Gosh, I didn't even think about that though. Yeah, Wemby's still only playing 30 33 minutes a game. That's crazy.
33 minutes last year, yeah.
Down to 28, 29 after the injury last season. We might just ramp it up towards the end of the season for hopeful playoffs. But yeah, could start at 27, 28 minutes to start the year. We'll see.
Yeah, he averaged 29 his rookie season and 33 last year. So yeah, if he starts 28, 29 minutes and ramps up as the season gets on, that's kind of what's happened the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So
yeah, again, so those are all really good points. It's just something to keep an eye on as the season rolls around.
Also, maybe that's why, Luke Cornett's going to help. He's coming from Boston. That's 5 out, one-on-one basketball city up there. So maybe he's already kind of used to that. Maybe that'll fit right in with Harper, Fox when Wemby is off the court.
Yeah.
So Luke Cornett might have been the best pickup for us, so we could have had a backup center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, it's all good. What I was going to say is it's something to look out for. Again, it's a good problem to have because you want guys on your team. That's something that we've been begging for, at least me personally, pre-Wemby even, was like we have 0 people on our team who can create. So the fact that we have 2 guys now who are probably going to be starters, definitely De'Aaron Fox, and we're hopeful that Stephon Castle will be a starter. You have 2 guys by themselves who can go get a bucket or go get fouled, go get to the rim. Like that is extremely valuable in today's NBA. I mean, look at SGA, right? Anytime they needed to stop the bleeding or whatever it was, they needed a bucket, he'd go get one or go get fouled.
Yep.
Like, so, I mean, you need that. Like, it's extremely important. So, not saying that it's a bad thing, just want to point out and just put a little pin in it, just to keep an eye out for it. So, there's that. Along with the De'Aaron Fox signing, we had a few other signings. Riley Minix gets signed to a 2-way deal for this to return to the Spurs, and Harrison Ingram as well. He also got a 2-way deal. So I'm happy about the Riley Minix. Harrison Ingram, I could, take it or leave it, as we talked about on one of our earlier pods this summer. But I'm a big fan of Riley Minix, still 25 years old. He averaged 19.3 points per game in the G League last year, 6.6 rebounds, couple assists a game, and shot 41% from 3. So that's awesome. And in Summer League, he played well, even though he didn't start this summer. Those are all fantastic. Then there was a last signing that happened for us as well. His name is Micah Potter. Spurs Bros, in case you didn't know him, I knew of the name and I knew it was his face, but I didn't know, honestly, couldn't tell you who he played for this, but he plays used to play for Utah, and he signed a training camp deal with the Spurs as well. So he's 6'10", he's a stretch big, he can shoot the ball, and he played well in the G League supposedly last year for Utah's G League team. 14.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, nearly 2 threes a game. So, and he got some NBA minutes. So that's good. We'll take it in case Wemby's out and Luke Cornett needs to start. He can be a backup for Luke Cornett.
For half a second when that news came down yesterday, I thought it was Micah Parsons. I was like, oh my God, Jerry messed this up so bad that Micah's switching sports.
Micah's switching sports. Some banger DeJuan Blair, bro.
Dude, imagine that.
For real.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Micah Potter, whatever, 6'10". We'll see if he makes it through camp.
Yeah.
Not super newsworthy, but like it happened, so we're covering it. But I'm super happy about Riley Minix, and then they just kind of snuck in the Harrison Ingram news right behind the Minix announcement. Yeah. So whatever. Minix is the guy to keep an eye on. Ingram, he's a 2nd round pick, 40 whatever pick he was. Like, we've said it before. Expectations aren't huge there.
He's not supposed to make it in the league. If he does, that's great for us. But he's not going to make it. So, but if he comes out and somehow makes it into the NBA, that'd be fantastic for us. Hopefully with us. But
Jonathan Simmons, no. All right, so that's good. Again, I'm thinking about Riley Minix, Lindy Waters III, this guy Micah Potter. We've got Kelly Olynyk. We've got Cornett.
David Jones Garcia.
All these guys, as we talked about a couple of podcasts ago, that this is all really, really good. And we're just raising the floor, especially on the offensive end, especially on the shooting end.
Mm-hmm.
The past however many years, even with Wemby, I mean, there's a reason why we won 22 games in Wemby's first seasons, because nobody else could put the ball in the basket, right? Consistently. So this is really good. And I'm happy about all that. You got guys who are deep on the bench or 2-way guys who could come in and still make an open shot. Exactly. So that's great. Now it's just about, can we lock up better, right? We talked about, I think we said this in our group message. Someone said that in the past, 3 seasons, we were bottom 10?
Bottom 10 in defense each of the last 3 years.
Yeah. So that is something also to look out for. So again, we're raising our game on the offensive end. That's great. Now, how do we make sure that we maintain a high level of defense throughout 48 minutes of play. Do y'all think that can happen? I mean, is with our current roster, I mean, like,
I think it can happen, but defense is all about tenacity and heart, and hopefully better coaching. That's where our big guy Sweeney comes in, our new coach, and hopefully has some good plays, some good coverages on defense, and we play a lot better. But yeah, it honestly starts with the guys on the floor, and they gotta just want it. They gotta want to play defense and want to get the stop. You saw it again. We talked about OKC already a couple times this pod, but those fuckers defend like a motherfucker. They swipe at the ball. They don't let people get to the rim. They bump the whole time.
Yep.
And guess what? That's why they're champions and won 65 games last year. So it all starts with defense, and it'll make offense so much easier too. So
I think two things on the defense. The fact that we've shored up our depth at both the center position with Alec and Garnett, and the guard position with Fox, healthy, Harper. I think something that to look for is Jeremy Sohan is going to get to play so much more time at his natural position, and there's not going to be much of an offensive burden for him. I think they're just going to let him loose on defense and go say, you're going to go cover the 3 or the 4 hurting us the most, and just go be an absolute menace. And Keldon, Devin, if you guys don't want to play defense, we've got this kid Carter Bryant, who's an absolute stud on that end of the floor, just waiting to get on the court and steal your minutes. So those two guys are going to go crazy anytime they're on the court. And I hope that they will be able to bring out the competitive fire on the defensive end in Keldon and Devin to go do a better job, buy into the schemes more, remember their assignments more consistently. That's what I'm going to look forward to, because when Wemby was on the court, we were a top 10 defense, but he wasn't on the court enough. We haven't had the consistent play around him enough. So hopefully this kind of floor raising of our talent, like you said, Alec, will translate to other guys being able to play in their role and have more of a competitive fire on the defensive end.
That's perfect. And lest we not forget, also Stephon Castle earlier in the summer, he said, "Hey, where do you want to make the biggest leap next year?" He said, "I want to be better on defense as well." He's like, I played good, but I wanted to step up on that end as well. So that would be fantastic because he's already a great point of attack defender. We mentioned that last year, having him and Jeremy Sohan both really good point of attack defenders. So like if you got them two, obviously Wemby is our anchor, Luke Garnett off the bench, Carter Bryant, like those are some really, really good pieces to, at least not be bottom 10. Let's just say that.
Dylan Harper too, dude. I think he's going to surprise people. Like he's 6'6". Like he's got size and physicality. He can move his feet. If he buys in and he kind of studies the tape and learns some tendencies before each game, I think he's going to make some like eye-popping plays on the defensive end, guarding these 6'3", 6'4" guards that he's just bigger, stronger, faster than.
Yep.
Even if he gets beat, get back behind him and get a block at the rim or whatever. We saw that in summer league.
Yeah, we saw that.
Super crazy athletic block. So I mean, he can do whatever he wants if he wants to.
Yeah, for sure. I like your point. Like bringing in Sweeney, ideally, that'll be great for us as well. I mean, bringing out just a new tone to the defensive end as well. Just a new voice in our corner. That's fantastic. Defensive specialist. I love it. So on to more mundane and I guess just negative news. Last week we talked about Project Marvel and how there was some back and forth between Spurs Sports Entertainment division and wanting to move Project Marvel forward. And you've got the legislature, I guess, in San Antonio, the mayor of San Antonio, everybody else just kind of pushing back on that side, right? So there's sort of some tension there. Well, it turns out this was just in last night how Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones called for a strategic pause on the Project Marvel Sports and Entertainment District on Wednesday after a marathon city council meeting. So this says, quote, "The people of San Antonio have entrusted us to do the adequate due diligence. And I don't think what we have been presented with does that," she said. "So I think we need to take a strategic pause on this entire effort, and we need to lay out not only the cost and benefit of the Spurs Arena, but of this entire project." So I don't want to get too much into too much detail. I think we have enough Spurs fans online and on X, saying what we all think, which is just like, come on, make this happen. This is bigger than whatever, like the cost. Like
you need to look at the cost and benefit.
Yeah.
The benefit can't be written on paper. The benefit is like the city. It's our future.
Vibrancy.
What people,
Yeah.
vibrancy. What people love
Culture.
about the city. The Spurs. The Spurs are San Antonio. Like it goes way beyond that. Oh, what it said on paper.
It's
Like,
our
dude,
identity.
the
Yeah.
Spurs are San Antonio. Like you can't write it on paper.
Yep.
Alec, you still got the bleep button.
Yeah, I do.
Good.
This attitude by the city council and by the mayor and this absolute like stonewall of this project is it's is what it is.
Yeah.
They need to get their act together and come to the table ready to compromise and negotiate rather than just shutting this whole project down. The entire, like, not the entire city, but a majority of this city is clamoring for this to happen. We're desperate and desiring for this to happen. It's the next thing. It's the next phase of greatness for the city of San Antonio. We all want to see this happen, and the people who don't are taking their stance based on short-sighted, incompetent takes from their city council representatives and from their mayor, who are against this for some sort of reason, to think that the Spurs are responsible for 100% of this payment, when it's going to have more benefit in the long run than for everybody in the city, Spurs fan or not.
Yep.
So
yep.
Get your shit together, San Antonio.
Earlier, the whole Marvel project in general, it's like helping rebuild the Alamo Dome all around it. Like the Final Four NCAA last year said they're not coming back to San Antonio until the Alamo Dome it's rebuilt, essentially. Get a couple $100 million of renovations into it because it's too old of a building. Like all that shit, nothing's going to happen in San Antonio anymore. It's all going to go to Dallas, Houston. It's way more than that. We're not going to get any big concerts in San Antonio. Like all this helps with the city. It just makes no sense to not.
Dude, you know the Alamo Dome was voted like ugliest building in America a couple years ago.
Did not
like
know that.
it needs some help.
It needs some
and that's part of Project Marvel, is to help out the Alamo Dome.
We were also saying earlier how, like, dude, the downtown is like the heart of a lot of cities. If you're a resident of San Antonio, most people don't with downtown. No one goes downtown to the Riverwalk on a Saturday afternoon. Like that's not the thing. We were saying like eight weekends in football season for UTSA football gets kind of lit downtown by the Alamo Dome. Other than that, no one's downtown for shit. Like it would
goes downtown.
Fully change our city, man, and it needs to be done.
Yes,
I go downtown when people are in town because I want to show them like the tourist attractions of San Antonio. But that's like half a day, and then I bounce back out to where like the rest of life is. Nope.
Pop in for
but
Cat 5
this would change that, bro. I would go down there all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Imagine 3 Cat 5s at Pat O's and then walk on over to the Spurs game along the Riverwalk. Oh my God, what a night that would be.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You call your boy Devontae for that.
For those Spurs bros who don't know, that's Cat 5 stands for the Hurricanes that they sell at the famous Pat O's bar downtown in San Antonio. And
doing Devontae Graham.
Yes.
We're boys from Pat O's.
During whenever he was in college.
2014 Final Four, whenever it was when Kansas lost.
Yeah,
me and Devontae drinking Hurricanes together at Pat O's.
That was amazing.
We want to keep those memories going. Project Marvel doesn't happen. There's not going to be another Final Four.
No more Final Fours.
Yeah, exactly. I think y'all all made really good points on this. This is beyond just what's the cost. But you can't put this down on like paper and numbers. Like this is about building the identity of San Antonio. Like yes, we want to preserve. That's what's unique about San Antonio. Like we lean into the fiesta. We lean into the culture. We lean into the Alamo. We lean into all this natural historic sites and us being a military base, right? Like we lean into all that, which is great. But how do you lean into that, keep that identity, but also like grow it, right? You don't just you don't want to be, I hate to use, like for lack of a better term, like you be like a Brit. Brits just back into everything. They just look at America because we're all like risk taking and risk seeking, and Brits, they just back into everything and they just talk shit about Americans. But that's because they're afraid to take risks themselves, right? Like they're afraid of their own shadow, basically.
Sorry to our UK fans.
To our UK fans. Sorry, I'm just saying.
It's like 20% of the audience sometimes, Alex. So be careful.
I'm just saying, this is just facts. I mean, if people will say this. Okay, look. So the point I'm trying to make, though, is like, don't be afraid of our own shadow. Don't be afraid to grow. Don't be afraid to build something on top of what we already have. Like versus just being like, oh, like we'll see. I need more due diligence. I need more information. We'll see. Let's just put the costs and the numbers down. Stop being afraid. This is more than that. This is more. It's about building again the future of San Antonio and our identity, like as a culture, as a city. So enough of that.
And hey, if you want to do more due diligence, that's fine. Like if you need to iron out some more numbers and like compromise and negotiate a little bit more, fine. but that doesn't mean you need to put a pause on the whole project and just shut it down completely for an indefinite amount of time.
Right.
What good does that do? This needs to happen.
Yeah.
This needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I can go on and on because the key words for me were adequate due diligence. That to me, I've seen this in my own industry, like in like my work. Like whenever people say I need more due diligence, I need more information, I need this, like you're just afraid to make a decision. Like you have enough information, you're just afraid to make a decision because, and obviously this is where it gets into politics, which we don't want to cover, but like it just, these people in hurrier, and then you've got obviously what wants to happen, right? What we all want to happen, which is, Spurs Sports Entertainment. Hey, let's just go ahead and do this thing. So weird stuff. Don't like it, but hopefully this all gets resolved soon. Yeah. Enough of that. Trey Murphy mentoring Carter Bryant? Question mark. Reagan, do you want to go into that? I know you saw this video and posted this for us, but I want to talk about a couple things here. One, Carter Bryant cutting up dudes like Tari Eason, F Houston, in these open runs, but also like I want to talk about what Trey Murphy said here. I mean, do you have?
Yeah. Sorry to the Brits for that stray from Alec. If anybody deserves a stray, it's the Rockets. So yeah, Tari Eason can suck it. Carter Bryant's yamming on everybody in these open runs. But yeah, no, Trey Murphy went on Old Man in the Three. It's a great basketball podcast as well. And they kind of asked him on like being a mentor to Carter Bryant, and he said that he's seen clips of him. Carter Bryant has actually talked about Trey Murphy having an influence on his game and somebody that he kind of models what he does on the NBA floor after. And he said that Trey Murphy said that throughout the year at Arizona, he would ask that Carter Bryant would ask him for advice, and he was just trying to help him through stuff. So even at the college level, he's had a prospect in Trey Murphy III who's gaining a lot of momentum and respect around the NBA in his ear, giving him words of advice, words of encouragement, kind of helping him out with things, things to look for in his game to help him progress. And I'm a huge fan of Trey Murphy III. Like that was my trade idea if we were going to trade this pick. So the fact that like if we're not going to trade the 14th pick to go get Trey Murphy, we've got the Trey Murphy prodigy in Carter Bryant basically. So I'm all here for it, man. And I like that influence for our rook.
Yeah, absolutely facts. And yeah, in the video he says like I've been keeping an eye on him for a long time, and I realized, oh, that guy, he's got game. He has it. Like he's got a potential basically, and so he's been in his ear since he was in, I guess, at Arizona. So that's great. And the fact that he saw a little bit of himself in Carter Bryant shows that hey, we also may have something on our hands here. So that's great.
Turn into anything like Trey Murphy,
two-way guy. Oh,
would absolutely love that. So
yeah,
great person to have as your role model.
Yep.
And then speaking of role modeling, right now we're gonna get into KG, the kid himself, with Wemby.
Oh,
what better, dude? Get some nasty in it. Oh man, love that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, that's a great segue into our last scheduled part of the show, which is KG, the big ticket. He came out, and I remember seeing this video. I guess it was a couple months ago. Him talking about Wemby and talking him up. Him and Paul Pierce are on their podcast, or whatever. They're talking him up. Man, I love this guy. I love Wemby. He's got that thing. He's got that mindset. He's got skills. He's got all this stuff. But the only thing he's missing is that USA, like that dog in him. He's like, yeah, I know international play is becoming a thing. I know he said, but what you need is that dog. And like I'm paraphrasing.
You're saying very adequately and nice compared to how KG stated everything.
He's like, yeah, KG, your mouth be foaming at the mouth.
You want the full, yeah. A bunch of slurs in there. Go listen yourself if you want to hear. But he was saying, I need to get Wemby this time. Come on, UCLA. That's where you see the dogs and this, that, the other.
Right.
But hey,
no fouls, no refs. Yeah. Call your own shit. Yeah. It's a dog pound in there. You don't even know. OG in the corner getting up fadeaway J's. You don't even know. Then he comes in and just
everyone's trying to make it.
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to make a name for themselves in there. They got them no name. Yeah, exactly.
And we don't know how the extent of it, but we saw a picture. KG yapping to Wemby staring at him. So we don't know what they did. It worked out, whatever. But we sure know that he at least got talking to from the kid himself, the big ticket KG. Hopefully we see some
wearing
this year.
Wearing the Bill Russell hoodie too. Like just like you're literally looking at a guy who was mentored by Bill Russell. Completely opposite personality. I feel like Bill Russell personality is closer to Wemby, and KG is able to relate to Bill Russell. He's gonna, dude. If you give me some KG fire with the alien, it's over.
It's over, dude.
It's over.
We talked about the past couple of years too. Like we have yet to see Wemby just like give me the ball and everyone get the out of the way.
Yeah.
And like he's still been team player, team first, which we love about that. But we've still said the past 2 seasons he hasn't had that Mamba mentality, that killer instinct yet to go get a bucket whenever the hell he wants when we need it the most.
Exactly.
And hopefully that kind of starts to change the rest of his career and it trajects upwards.
Dude, if you've got that synergistic blend between that and the Shaolin monk, the Zen,
Dude,
like,
yeah.
Dude, that's what
I was about to say. So everybody is zigging and saying that KG is going to have this influence of bring out this dog and Wemby. What if this was like the final test after his stay with the monks, and like you have to embrace your inner self. You have to get a handle on your mindset, your mentality, your inner peace to have success. So the final test was to spend a day with Kevin Garnett, see if you can stay mellow through it,
and become enlightened. Then you're fully enlightened. Yeah.
What if he's even more peaceful now because he got through the KG test,
dude? But that's
not what I want. But like,
I know. It's like that to me is like it's like caffeine and L-theanine. I don't know if you've had that combo before, but here we go. But it's perfect. It's a perfect like blend. You got the caffeine, which gets you up, which is the KG, and then the Zen, the L-theanine, this little compound that just makes you fucking like focus in. Oh, dude, I can't wait for that. I imagine that type of player, 7'6", just give me the
everyone out of the way.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh God.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a whole week training camp. By the way, I have no idea where they were either.
Yeah, we don't even know
there's some.
LA, we don't know
they're running some bleachers that look like he was done running some bleachers or he's about to run some bleachers. But they're definitely somewhere. Ain't no way KG went out to San Antonio to go do that. But
nah, this is somewhere. Wemby's been traveling. This is somewhere.
He stays traveling. Yeah. Either way. Awesome stuff. I can't wait to see it. Hopefully, I want more little snippets like that, man. I just want some more sneak peeks like that because
I'm all in for football season. But dude, every time we get the pod going, then we talk about Fox, we talk about Carter Bryant, Wemby. Dude, it's just like, dude, give me some Spurs ball already now.
Yes.
Need it in my life, man. Need it in my life. We got Eurobasket coming up. We get to watch Jeremy in Eurobasket soon, a couple weeks away for Poland. We get to see what his jump shot looks like. That's the next injected into my veins. That's the next
we'll see that.
We get to see how that's coming along.
That's facts. All right. Well, that's all I had on the agenda. I mean, if y'all have anything else you want to point out?
Nah, y'all go subscribe to the channel.
Yep.
As always, subscribe. Stuart's got the new Spurs Bros hat on. That's still up for sale. We got plenty left, so let us know if you want one. And yeah, go tell a friend about the pod. Let us know your favorite. Actually, I'm going to say this at the beginning. Favorite George Gervin play, highlight, story. He's all around San Antonio, so maybe you ran into him somewhere and he had something cool to say. Feels like everything he says is cool. So comment your favorite thing about George Gervin, the Iceman. But yeah, man, until next week from the Spurs Bros, go Spurs, go.